Quite a lot of those punches are directed at the midsection of Mbityi.
Vabaza uloku ehlehle njalo kanti siyabona ukuthi ohlaselayo nguye Mbityi. Kodwa bashana ngokulingana bashaya isibhakela ababili laba ibhakele namandla kakhulu.
Well, how about this? Mbityi adopts the southpaw stance. Whatever you can do, I can do, he says, and I'll do it better. But then Vabaza rocks him with a right to the chin. And the men are quailing. This is an opportunity for Mbityi.
Well, it was a powerful punch there that came from Vabaza, and Mbityi showing that experience holding. But once again, he's extricated himself from that situation, launching that total, complete onslaught. But Vabaza taking his time. But clearly one can see that experienced Mbityi knows what this whole story is all about.
Yes, he hasn't been flustered at any time in this fight. Cool, calm, collected. He knows what he wants to do. My goodness, for most of the rounds, he's doing it. Good combination from Mbityi. First the left, then the right. He's gone back to orthodox, you notice.
Well, but the only thing I can criticize of Mbityi is that if he decides to go on a toe-to-toe with Vabaza, he might just get caught with the left hand, given the fact that Vabaza comes out of a southpaw stance. So that is always a situation that he needs to guard against.
Good punches to the head from Mbityi, and there's the bell ending the round.
Taking the fight to Mbityi, connecting with a couple of punches, getting the attention of the crowds there. But Mbityi standing his ground, not backing off.
Useful.
Great exchange there from Zolile Mbityi.
Yes, a useful left hook from him. That got the attention of Vabaza. And straight away, he's backing up the champion once more. Another good left hook from Mbityi. That's a punch that's working well for him.
Well, I thought that Vabaza fights much more better from a distance, but he needs to throw much more leather to the direction of Mbityi if he is to make a difference. Because each time he allows Mbityi to initiate the action, and as a result, he gets beaten to the punch.
Yes, and he tried to take over the role of aggressor at the start of this round, but not for long. Mbityi's backing him up once again. Well, a bit of fancy footwork there from the challenger. The crowd loves that. You heard the response. Mbityi ducking a bit on the low side. Got to be careful he doesn't duck into the punch coming his way from the champion.
Well, if you've just joined us, it's a fight between Vabaza, who's the current champion, up against the challenger Zolile Mbityi. And we have been reliably informed that we have plus minus 5,000 people that have come to witness this event here today.
Yes, the Orient Theatre packed to capacity. In fact, it's more than packed to capacity. Sitting in the aisles, sitting in the stairways, you name it. And the atmosphere electric here at ringside. Still, Mbityi coming forward, still backing up the champion. I get the impression, Elliot, that Mbityi's enjoying himself.
No, absolutely better, but also very noticeable is that he has decreased his work rate on this round in particular.
Flyweight title, Vabaza a little slow to leave his corner, and Mbityi walks right up to him.
Well, once again, it's a psychological battle going on here. Well, Vabaza starting off by picking up Mbityi with a couple of punches, but Mbityi has none of it, continues to take the fight to Vabaza.
Well, that was a useful right hand from Vabaza, clipped the top of Mbityi's head. Now he's trying to go to the body with the left. Vabaza wants to keep the punches up.
njengoba ubona uVabaza uthanda uhlala ekhishini manje ufuna uthatha umoya lapho kuye uzolisa Mbityi uzolile Mbityi kodwa uMbityi uloke kahle njalo loke ithathile lempe yisa kuye uVabaza siyazi ukuthi uMbityi kade khona uma kade ebona ukuthi kwenzakalani kuzo ezemidlalo wesibhakela kiseyo Mutakaring Kimkaubere
Vabaza clips Mbityi with the right hand as he tried to get on the inside.
Well, you'll also notice that Vabaza is not running away much more in this fight, being prepared to use his territory and his counter-punching effectively.
Yes, we've seen a lot of lateral movement from Vabaza. He's not backing off really. He's using lateral movement. Mbityi missed with a lot of those shots. Vabaza's got very good reflexes, saw the punches come in and slipped under them. And now he's countering beautifully.
Well, Vabaza getting a better of that exchange. They're beating Mbityi to the punch. But a much more experienced and matured Mbityi has none of it. Continues to take the fight to the young Vabaza.
A wild right hand from Mbityi. Missed completely with that. Needs to pick his shots. And there's the bell ending the round. Goes. And after 6 rounds, that's the halfway stage of the fight. Difficult to say who's ahead. I'd say that Vabaza's slightly ahead on points, Elliot.
Well, I better agree with you purely because of his punching speed that he is ahead.
Well, Mbityi's going to try and change that opinion very quickly, isn't he? Putting combinations together here at the start of the 7th. Backing up the champion once more. Missing with a lot of his punches, and maybe that's too many. Oh, good shot from Vabaza. Mbityi took it very well indeed.
Well, questions have been raised as to whether Vabaza will be able to last for the duration of the fight, and if he does indeed go for the duration, therefore at advantage is Zolile Mbityi. But given what we see here today, the two boxers are fairly matched, and Vabaza is holding his own, as is Mbityi.
Yes, there is a suspicion of some quarters that Vabaza might have weight problems, boxing as a flyweight, but he's looking very strong here today, and he's pacing himself well. Still under attack by Mbityi. He's trying to get it. He's got to get up close, and then he tries to thread the defense of the champion to the body, to the head.
Well, but I also find that because Mbityi walks straight to Vabaza, he's an easy target.
A couple of very good shots to Mbityi's head by Vabaza. And still, the challenger comes forward. He took that remarkably well.
Well, it could also be bet that that's a perception, because he's walking straight to Vabaza's punches, and all Vabaza does is to backtrack 2 or 1 step away, and he rocks him with powerful punches. So in time, those punches might become a problem for the matured Mbityi.
Well, they're not a problem now, because Mbityi still wants to let his punches go, switching southpaw, back orthodox. A lot of those punches missing from the challenger.
Kanti yimpi enhle kakhulu kuyabonakala ukuthi abafana abashaya isibhakela baziqeqeshe kahle kakhulu. njengoba ngishilo ukuthi uVabaza ubonakala enamandla kakhulu kanti uyashesha ezandleni ucijile ngempela zinamandla bakwethu ibhakele shayela umfana uVabaza kanti uyazamukela lapho uzolile Mbityi kanti umbuzo esizibuza wona ukuthi kuyoze kube nini uMbityi ezamukela ibhakele ezivela kuye uVabaza.
Well, Vabaza might be boxing off the back foot. I tell you what, he's looking very, very sharp here in the 7th round. Put some excellent combinations together. Starting to take the play away from the challenger. It's round 8. Round 8.
Ipapari entle haholo yena yaritibile. Pati ribona batlankana Zolile Mbityi. Olwana nkabukhabane le boitemogelo bo botle haholo. Olwana le yena Mampudi Kabula Vabaza.
Well, I thought Vabaza had an excellent round 7. You probably want to capitalize on that here in the 8th. Still quite happy to box off the back foot. A useful left to the inside from Vabaza. Ripped it between the arms and gloves of Mbityi.
Kanti njengoba ngishilo uVabaza umfana ucijile kakhulu ubonakala eshaya ibhakele esinamandla kakhulu. Uloku ehlehle njalo kodwa usebenzisa kahle kakhulu izandla zakhe zombili. Mampudi Kabula Vabaza. Mohiko lapeng ribona Mampudi Vabaza arbonsa boitemogelo le boiphihlelo bo botle haholo.
Well, you can actually see Vabaza gaining the ascendancy in this round. Mbityi's got a big heart. He's a very brave young man, but the champion is starting to dominate.
Well, I did say earlier on, though Mbityi is going forward, he is being picked up by a couple of punches from the champion. The hand speed is doing the damage. Look at how the champion is doing his stuff in the ring there. That does really have the mental effect onto the challenger.
Solid left to the body from Vabaza. Ripping right to the head from the champion. Still, Mbityi comes forward. Walks into a right jab.
Well, it's very, very imperative for the challenger that though he forges forward, that he gives the champion angles. He walks straight to the champion. As a result, he becomes an easy target for Kabula Vabaza. Useful right hand, though, from the challenger.
Mbityi still landing the odd blow, but he's taking far too much punishment. And you can see Vabaza becoming quite arrogant now. Actually sticking out his jaw.
Into the 9th round of this contest. These are championship rounds, Bet.
Yes, and I think that Vabaza is now head on points, unquestionably.
Absolutely, that I agree with you, Bet. Umfana uVabaza usiphakamisile ngempela isandla sakhe kulomdlalo wesibhakela. Ulwa kahle kakhulu kuze kube manje.
Well, Vabaza's taken Mbityi's best shots. He's taken them well, and he's come back with some very, very good ones of his own. So if he looks as though he's a confident young man, you can understand why. Still boxing off the back foot, though. Keeps pumping out that right jab. Mbityi a little wild now with these punches, bringing him too much from the outside, I suspect.
Well, Bet, the other thing you will notice is that Mbityi boxes very well if he moves towards the left of Vabaza, because then that punch becomes ineffective. But each time he moves away from that right hand, from the left hand, it catches him because it comes in as a hook, and he's open to that, because what Vabaza does, he opens up with the right hand and follows up with the left hook, and always finding space for that punch. Well, the two boxers stalking each other with powerful punches. But one can see clearly the level of fitness of the two boxers, with Mbityi there ducking too low.
Yes, it's almost tit for tat. And exchanging blows. Neither really willing to give a quarter. Now it's Mbityi who's trying to get through the guard of Vabaza. A little bit wild with his punches, missing with far too many, Elliot.
Yes, I agree with you, but there you can see Vabaza being prepared at this stage to go toe-to-toe with him. There you see he rocks him with a powerful left hand. As I said to you, when Mbityi moves away from the left hand, he becomes vulnerable for that punch. Look at the times that punch catches him, and Vabaza does that repeatedly.
Yes, we've seen a lot of good sharp shooting here from the champion. Vabaza can hardly miss. Look at this. What a barrage. Mbityi stung into action, but not nearly enough leather coming back from him. And he's missing with far too many blows.
Amazing that the respect between these two boxers is still there, though we see a lot of action happening as this fight progresses. But at the beginning of each round, you see the two boxers shaking hands. Vabaza not being prepared at this stage to go backwards. He's quite comfortable, but I believe that he can take the punches of Mbityi. And then maybe he wants to now begin to unleash those powerful punches that we know him of.
Well, Mbityi is still coming forward, still unloading a lot of leather, not all of it landing. We've said that repeatedly. And he has to pay a price because Vabaza's sharpshooting, particularly with that right jab.
Kuze kube manje uVabaza ulwa kahle kakhulu. Esinamandla isiphakele esiphumayo esivela kuye lapho uMbityi kanti usamukele kahle kakhulu lo mfana uGabuba Vabaza. Uyaziphindiselela lapho uGabuba Vabaza.
Once again, it's almost tit for tat. Referee warns Vabaza to keep these punches up. And he immediately bangs out the right to the midsection.
Well, I get the feeling that Mbityi is tired, but I don't know if you see the same thing, because really his work rate has fallen down.
Yes, and one of the biggest weaknesses in what he's doing, Elliot, is he's throwing a lot of leather, but he's throwing it wild, and a lot of it's missing. He's not picking his shots. That was a useful one, but it's only, and that was also good. Amazing when you say these things, they come right. Well, that's what I mean. You see Mbityi missing with the right hand. And again, right over the top. That's not doing him any good. Round 11, scheduled for 12. These are the championship rounds. And I still think Vabaza has now edged ahead on points, Elliot.
Well, I agree with you, Bet. I think he's fought very, very well. Boxing from the outside, throwing a number of punches, and all of those punches finding the target, or most of those punches finding the target.
Vabaza still boxing off the back foot. Mbityi coming forward, lashing out with lefts and rights. Now and then he adopts a southpaw stance, then he's back to orthodox. But although he's been the aggressor almost throughout this fight, I think the more telling punches have come from Vabaza.
Well, the only opportunity left for Mbityi is to knock down Vabaza. And I also noticed that he boxes much more better from the inside, but he tends to be careless bet because he leaves himself vulnerable each time he throws punches.
Look at that right jab of Vabaza. Streaking out, invariably landing. Flush into the face of Mbityi.
Well, Mbityi boxing much more better this time because he closes the gap between himself and Vabaza. But he needs to let go of those punches. He does exactly that. But as I said earlier on, he leaves himself vulnerable. Vabaza does well to extricate himself out of that situation. A young man with lots and lots of potential, this Gabuba Vabaza.
Yes, he's not only a hard hitter, he's got a lot of boxing skill and a very good boxing brain. Not prepared to stand and trade if he doesn't have to. Good aggression coming from Mbityi now. It's late in the fight. He needs something spectacular to turn things around, I suspect.
That I agree with, Bet. Very important for the young Vabaza to move out of that corner. He must never engage with Mbityi.
This has been a very good round for Mbityi. He's taken a lot of punishment, but he's dished out even more.
Mbityi ubuye ngamandla zethameli zethu uyahlasela uyagadla kanti akayibekile phansi lapho umfana uGabuba Vabaza uyashana ibhakele namandla kakhulu.
Barrage of punches from the challenger as the bell rings in the round. Well, Mbityi had a very, very good round 11. Let's see what he does in round 12. The 12th and final round of this fight for the South African Flyweight Championship.
Well, Vabaza wasting no time. Throwing a couple of punches, and Mbityi was almost staggered there.
Mbityi a little awkward, terribly unorthodox in what he's doing at the moment. But maybe that's to his credit because Vabaza's got to figure him out.
Yes, I bet it's been a difficult fight this for Vabaza. But look at how he's picking up his work rate and picking up Mbityi. Well.
It could well be that Vabaza's been hurt. He held first. Good shots to the jaw from Mbityi. He needs to put Vabaza on the canvas in this round. And my goodness, he's trying. He really is trying. He's got to let it all hang out, Elliot.
Well. Look at how Mbityi is trying. He's so desperate. But Vabaza is nowhere to be found.
Yes, Vabaza a very elusive opponent when he wants to be.
Vabaza uyashaya ibhakela angene aphume. Muhle lo mdlalo wesibhakela phakathi kwalabafana ababili. Yena Zolile Mbityi noGabuba Vabaza. Kanti isikhathi sona asimile siyahamba zethameli zethu.
Time running out now for Mbityi. He knows it. The crowd knows it. His corner knows it. Vabaza on his bicycle.
Well, credit must be given to the young Vabaza bet because he's taken the punches from Mbityi very, very well.
Oh, he just put his tongue into Mbityi. I don't know how clever that is. Mbityi barged in. Missing with too many punches yet again. Needs an uppercut. Going over the top with far too many.
The clock is winding down. Whether we will have a spectacular knockdown, time will tell. But at this stage, it's Gabuba Vabaza that is on his bicycle, and the corner of Mbityi edging him to close the gap. And it doesn't look like he's got energy to do that anymore.
Yes, I think Mbityi is simply running out of rounds. As simple as that. goes the bell, ending the fight. Lots of emotions in the crowd, and both men looked very happy when the final bell rang. They both expect to win this fight, so it's going to be very interesting to see how the judges scored it. I think Vabaza might have just edged it, but who knows? The judges are sitting on different sides of the ring. Well, let's hope it's not a long wait to get this decision. It was a very, very competitive fight. Perhaps not as explosive as we expected. But largely, I think, because Vabaza decided to box off the back foot. Mbityi kept coming forward, but he missed with far too many punches. And it was only late in the fight that he started scoring with shots to the head and body. Good shots to the head and body. He needed a few more rounds, maybe 15 instead of 12. That's a draw.
Judge Matika scores the fight. 117, 113.
4 points difference.
And Judge Matakana scores the fight. 114, 114. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is a draw.
Well, a majority draw decision. How about that? How about that? I knew it was close. I thought Vabaza might have edged it, and that one judge who scored, who actually found a margin, may well have scored in favor.
Are you surprised about the results?
Yeah, I'm very disappointed with my results because sishoze iskill esinafor umbetha umbityi. Now, benza lento bayifunayo. Yilento besilindele kakade. I'm very glad nobody say it to title car and in the proof in nobody best. I can't come doesn't stop now. They are coming.
But for most of
the wakuye fight yabo. Asiyazi nobody bephethe ndoni. That's why I've been funa lonke ixesha ndisoloko ndiqinile.
Vabaza, umabonga muphe any chance what it is that you can do differently to win this fight in a spectacular way.
And as you depend on
congratulations, Put. Well, there you heard it from the champion himself, a very disappointed man indeed. He claimed that he could have won this fight in a much more better way with a much more better result. We have the challenger here, Zolile Mbityi. Zolile Mbityi, what was your plan for this fight here today?
Yeah, we plan but well, you can see this clearly in the media as well as in print. The latest happenings in Afghanistan there are a lot of changes on hourly basis, and I think there are lots of you cannot predict a lot of things, and there's a lot of speculation, but there is one thing very clear.